Assalamualaikum dear student, this is Abid Bajwa, your English language instructor. I hope all of you will be enjoying very good health and staying safe. Today, our topic of discussion is how to write a top line letter in English language for O-level exams. But before I start, I would like to advise all my students who have joined me in this video to go back and watch my previous video, which is named as Features of Directed Writing and Common Errors. Why I am asking you to go back and watch that video? Because all of those rules and regulations which are discussed there in that video are directly applied today in letter writing lecture. So let's start today's lecture.
Alright students, let's start letter writing for Cambridge exams O-level. Name of the video lecture is Formal and Informal Letters, and it's a guideline to write a top line letter for Cambridge exams. I know that there would be hardly a person in this world who is not acquainted, who is not familiar with the word letter writing. We come across letter writing things in different forms at the different stages of our life. Before moving on, I would like to quote a saying from Phileas Rocks about letter writing. He says, "To send a letter is a good way to go somewhere without moving anything but your heart." Dear students, from the early level of education classes to the higher level of classes, letter writing has been coming to our syllabus in any of the forms. It can be an informal letter, sometimes a formal letter, sometimes we write an invitation to our relatives, to our friends, or sometimes we write an application to our principal. All of these are all types of letter writing. So, what is letter writing indeed? Let's define it. A letter is a written message from one person to another to exchange some information. So we have come to know that what is actual purpose of writing a letter. It is communication. We exchange some message from one person to another to send a message to and from. So letters are probably the oldest medium of communication which is still in practice. Even though with the development and innovation in technology, it has changed its forms. Now we have emails rather than the letters written with a pen or a pencil, but they still exist. Despite email, letters are still popular, particularly in business and or official communications. Students, there are two types of letters, informal and formal. In the coming slides, I will be explaining all these two types in details. So let's start and move on to the another slide. We'll start from informal letter. Remember, if you recall my previous video, I mentioned a trick, a mnemonic called SAP. So I have utilized it, I have applied it over here. Remember, three letters only, S, A and P. Situation. So for situation is informal letter. Whenever you are going to write a letter, make sure in which situation you are going to write. Make sure we are talking about informal letter right now. You must know what is the place and time. What do I mean by saying place and time? Whether you are writing to a friend or maybe, and what is the time? Are you congratulating him on his success? Or maybe you are going to say him some words of sympathy for not qualifying his next level in education. What are the participants? Who are the participants? Are the participants more than two people? I mean your family, or the participant is only one person. So make sure who you are writing to and who are the people involved. You just need to keep them in mind before you write to him or her. And what are the circumstances? Are the circumstances quite in a happy mood, you are going to greet them on their success, or you are going to console on someone's death, God forbid. And who the audience are is the second letter from SAP. Your audience means the people you are going to write about. It can be your friends and family, your relative, or your peers. Friends and family are those people who belong to your family. Friends are those people who are in your social circle. In friends it can be your age fellow, it can be your class fellow, and in the family it might be your father, mother, brother, sister. In the relatives, you might write a letter to your aunt, your uncle, or anyone who is a part of your family. And then peers are the age fellows, you can write a letter. So whenever you write a letter, an informal one, you must keep audience. If you still remember my previous video, I told you that audience perhaps is the most emphatic and the most important factor in writing any composition, especially when it comes to situational writing. Purpose, the third factor. Purpose in informal letter can be you are going to discuss some family matters. Obviously, when you are going to write to your friends, you don't discuss family matters, but you might be discussing about plans, how to spend your holidays, or maybe a hangout plan with friends. So it all serves a purpose. So what are the purposes for writing a letter, informal letter in particular, you must keep in mind, and you must be discussing these things quite in a justified way. Information exchange is also a purpose, a point that you need to keep in mind. Make sure when you are going to attempt a Cambridge exams, O-levels task, you write a full, just for instance, you take a task to attempt, but you just greet them, you write each and everything, but you do not discuss the task. You do not mention the part or the bullet points you've been given. So obviously you are going to lose a lot of marks. Moving on, we have the same thing, but now it is formal letter. SAP, situation, audience, and purpose. This time when you are writing a formal letter for Cambridge exams, the situation can be varied. How? You must know place and time. This time it's not your friends and family. Maybe you are going to write a letter to your principal, maybe a newspaper editor, or it can be some official or manager. So circumstances, when I say circumstances, why are you writing a letter? What is the situation in which you are going to write? Maybe you are going to launch a complaint. Maybe you are going to make a request to your principal for giving you permission for an educational trip to some place in your country. And then the participants. Are you writing this formal letter on an individual base, or maybe you are writing on behalf of a full group? What are the circumstances? Circumstances, I mean, it can be, a formal letter can be written to the health officer of your region, requesting him to adopt some ways to take immediate steps to maintain health and drainage system in your area. Audience. Formal letters are written to some officials. Officials means the people who hold an office. Managers, principals, and then you can write a formal letter to organization. For example, you are going to write a letter to an airline office. Maybe you were traveling from one country to another, or maybe one city to another, and unfortunately your luggage was missing. You couldn't find your luggage. Now what you are going to do in this situation? Obviously you'll be writing a letter to the head of or the manager of the organization. In the same way, the second example could be, let's say you travel to another city and then you stayed in a hotel, but unfortunately the heating system or the air conditioning system was not working properly. Now what you are going to write? Obviously you will be writing a letter to the manager of that hotel, launching a complaint against it. Or it can be, let's say you are using some facilities at home. Let's say it can be your internet connection, electricity, or the supply of anything that comes from some government agency, and it's not working properly. You are going to launch a complaint, and then for that you need to write a formal letter. What is the purpose? I have been already explained that purpose can be, it can be writing a complaint letter, it can be a request, it can be an invitation, or it can be seeking some inquiries, information that you need to, or sometimes you write letter to serve an apology. So what are the formats for letter writing? In my previous video I told you that there are no particular formats for any of the situational writing tasks given in Cambridge exams. Rather, they are varied and they depend upon category to category. So over here on your screen you can see I have the heading of the slide is format for letter writing. I have tried to write some text over here. I have given some words, but actually this is not a letter, but indeed a set of instructions which are given. So see, there are 5 blue shapes you can see. The first one is salutation, second is greeting and introduction, third is content body, fourth is closing, and the fifth one is signing off. So these 5 things, 5 elements must be a part of your directed writing part. So let's start explaining them one by one, starting from my dear Peter. This is your salutation. So whenever you start a letter, it must start with the salutation. It depends whether you are going to write to a formal person or an informal. I mean, in the present situation I have just written my dear Peter. So it's going to be an informal letter, and you must see, you should also see that I have not included any sort of addresses, because letters do not require writing addresses in Cambridge exams. So salutation is my dear Peter. When you will write a formal letter, it can be dear principal or respected principal. Now the second thing is greeting. Greeting perhaps is not required in a formal letter, but when it comes to informal, I personally recommend you that always greet your audience, especially when it is your family or a friend. So see, now the instructions are, all the students are required to read all the instructions given for directed writing. State the purpose of writing of your letter. So see, this is the purpose. Third from SAP. You are advised to write some introductory lines about the task assigned to you. Dear students, this is perhaps another important or crucial part that I have always been telling my students. I have seen students who just start writing directly from the first bullet point. So to me, this is a mistake. You must state the introductory message or the introductory tasks. You will just reproduce into your words into 2 to 3 or 3 to 5 lines of your opening paragraphs. This is a recommended way, and then it will definitely leave a very good impression on your examiner. It is suggested to plan for 3 to 5 paragraphs. Actually, the letter 5 is missing from this slide. It is suggested to plan for 3 to 5 paragraphs for any situational task. Overall, when you will be writing a letter, formal or informal, this paragraph you would be starting, you'll be taking it as your content body or the bullet points. So for bullet points, you should write 3 paragraphs. You should try to start every bullet point with a new paragraph, but 2 points can be covered in a single paragraph. You must be careful not committing grammar and spelling mistakes. Now, you will move on to the closing part of a letter. You must explain and justify all the given points, as they will bring you 15 marks. You must also know that 5 marks are allocated for language. So in total marks, they make 15 plus 15, 30. And then in the signing off, you can see yours sincerely. On your screen, I have shared a previous Cambridge O-Levels English Language exam of October-November 2019. It was an informal letter. I will just read it for you. Directed writing, you are advised to write between 200 and 300 words. Total marks for this part are 30, and in the instructions it is given you will be awarded up to 15 marks for the following the task instructions, and then you will be awarded up to 15 marks for the language you use. Now what is the task? Why I am reading? Because I have discussed this particular task in the upcoming slide. Last year your best friend at school moved away to live to another town. Recently a very important person came to visit your school. You decide to write a letter to your friend with all the details of the visit. Write your letter, you must include the following: who the important person was and when the visit took place, details of what happened during the visit, why the visit was important to you and your school. Cover all these key points in detail. You should make your letter interesting and informative. And see, the examiner has given you the instructions. Start your letter from dear, and remember to aspire to a suitable ending. So he has not asked you to write an address. How you are going to plan for this letter? The same letter I have just discussed. First, let's start from bullet points that bring you 15 marks. Heading 1. So the blue lines, the blue rows, dark blue rows show the bullet points, headlines. Who the important person was and when the visit took place. Stick to it now. I'm reading it again. Who the important person was and when the visit took place. I'm just moving back. Can you just note it where this bullet point is? You see, in the task 1, your first bullet point is who the important person was and when the visit took place. Now, my suggestions: recall or imagine a recent visit of some celebrity. I have just used the word celebrity. It can be anyone who has visited your school. And then I have used the word imagine. It can be fabricated. We do understand that sometimes it might not have happened. It might not have happened in the recent past that some celebrity or some important person or religious personality has visited your school. So you just frame it, imagine it, or some celebrity to your school. And this bullet point explaining in a quite impressive way can give you 5 marks. The second bullet point is details of what happened during this visit. Now plan to write what you are going to write in this particular bullet points. Discuss arrangements. You can mention that some media personals also came there to have a footage or the coverage of the whole reception. Security, speeches, or anything you think is worth mentioning. And the third bullet point is why the visit was important for you and your school. I have just given you the suggestions that your school got popularity among the other schools of the area, of the region. And obviously school admissions increased because many of the people around, they came to know that some important personality or celebrity of your country has visited your school, and then you got media coverage, so it will bring you 5 marks. So this is just a blueprint, a sketch that you might keep in mind so that you'll be discussing in your letter. You can plan like that. Now coming on to the language part, there are certain elements. Remember that language will give you 15 marks as well. That is equal to your task fulfillment. So there are a number of things which are included, starting with situational vocabulary. You must choose your words in accordance with the situation you are going to. Let's say if you are going to invite your friend for a wedding ceremony of your brother, you will be writing your vocabulary in a cheerful way. You'll be using the words which are quite situational according to the circumstances, according to the task given. Then your purpose, tone, registered. I have discussed all these three elements in details, and the audience as well. You need to be very careful with spellings, punctuation and grammar. All these elements make up language marks, and you are awarded on these standards in Cambridge exams. Over here now I have just shared a page which I took from the Cambridge exams mark schemes for the same task, particular task I have just shared with you. Assessment objectives, writings AO1, assessment objective 1, W1, W2, W3, W4, W5, writing objective 1, writing objective 2. Number 1, articulate, experience and express what is thought, felt and imagined. What are the sequence, facts, ideas or opinions? Use or age of appropriate vocabulary, use or age appropriate to audience and context, and then make accurate use of spelling, punctuation and grammar. So all these things are actually the same. I have already mentioned that you will be assessed on these marking criterias. And then details of marking instruction for section 1 writing. Candidates expect to write a letter which communicates information clearly, accurately and economically. You need to write between 200 and 300 words. You will be carrying out the instruction as detailed on the question paper regarding the particular information required. Candidates will be awarded up to 15 marks for the following the task instruction, and I assume that all of my students know these instructions already if they have watched my previous video lesson. Moving on the last part of this video, I have tried to share some formal or informal expression for my students, because this is perhaps the areas that most of the students get confused. They do not know, they cannot differentiate between formal and informal expressions. I won't be explaining, reading all of them, but I will share, I'll just try to justify some of them. For the salutation, you start for formal, dear manager, dear Mr. or dear ma'am, while in the informal, my dear friend, it can be dear Peter, the name, or dear brother, dear Raza, and then hello, hi. Starting off a formal letter can be in formal ways with due respect and humble gratitude. I'm a resident of Sector 3, Islamabad. I want to draw your attention, while on the other hand, in informal, it will be, I hope you will be hale and healthy. I received your letter yesterday. It's been centuries you wrote a letter. So all you can see is thus the expressions are quite informal and in a light way, light-hearted way written. Whereas in the formal, they are polite, respectful and formal. And in the complaining part, if you are writing going to write a complaint, your formal expression can be, I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with the services. I intend to launch a complaint regarding maybe the electricity problem in my area. Let me express my unsatisfaction. And when it will be an informal, this has made me utterly upset when I came to know about your result. I am annoyed with this suggestion. I am completely fed up. Invitation, if you are going to write a formal invitation, a formal invitation, your tone should be like this. I feel privileged to invite your auspicious presence at the annual sports day. Your presence among us will be a matter of pride at prize distribution ceremony. We cordially invite you to your gracious company at, while it will be in informal, I would like to invite on my birthday, which is falling on, I will be happy if you will join us. I want you be here with us at my brother's wedding, and if the situation is that you need to apologize some informal way, you can write, we apologize for any inconvenience caused. Kindly accept our deep apologies. We regret if you feel distressed. I request you to please forgive can be written in an informal expression. I am sorry for my behavior. Please do not get angry with me. And then you can end a formal letter like I hope some immediate step will be taken to solve this problem. For further information, feel free to contact us, or looking forward to hear from you at your earliest. Or in informal, please convey my regards to everyone. I will be waiting for your reply. Hope to hear from you soon. And signing off part, informal, yours sincerely, your faithfully can be used, while in informal, yours loving, all the best, lots of love. That brings the end of this lecture. I hope you must have learned, or must have eradicated some of the confusions that you might have in your minds regarding writing a letter for Cambridge exams. Even then, if you still have any question, an inquiry, or anything, you can write me back at my email address abidbajwa@hotmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me anytime. Thanks for watching. Good luck.